Hey, it's Matt with AppliancePartsPros.com. Today we're going to show you how to test and replace the drive motor on your GE top-load washer. The drive motor turns the motor pulley using the belt to turn the gear case pulley. If the drive motor has failed, the washer won't spin. Before we jump in, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more DIY appliance repair tips. Let's get started on getting your washer back into peak performance. With over 2 million products in stock and the know-how to help you do it yourself, we are AppliancePartsPros.com. In this video, we're going to use the large adjustable pliers, the 1/4" nut driver, a Phillips screwdriver, a small flathead screwdriver, a multimeter with narrow pin extensions, the ratchet, the extension, a 3/8, a 1/2 inch, and a 9/16 inch socket, and a towel. Safety should always come first, so make sure to unplug the washer or turn off the circuit breakers to avoid electrocution. Also make sure to turn off the hot and cold water supplies. We'll have to go around back and use the 1/4" nut driver to remove the access panel. Once you have the screws out, you just kind of lift up on the bottom and slide it to the right to release the locking tabs. Once you have it off, you can set it aside. We just need to tilt the control panel forward. You just have to pull back on it to release the locking tabs and rotate it up and lay it on top of the washer. Then we're going to check the motor for ohms to make sure it's good. Make sure your meter is set to ohms. Then unplug the wiring harness from J511 on the board. There are 2 windings on the motor. Each should have 2.8 to 4.2 ohms. We're going to put 1 test probe in the brown wire and 1 in the white. Then leave it in the brown wire and switch it over to the yellow wire. You should get 2.8 to 4.2 ohms for both windings. If they are out of range or you don't get a reading at all, then the motor is bad. Once the test is done, you want to put the control panel back on. Just rotate it over and line up the tabs and push it forward. Then we can put the access panel back on. You just want to line up the tabs and slide it to the left, and then use the 1/4" nut driver to put the screws back in. Since we have to tilt the washer back, we're going to put a towel down to catch any water that may spill. Then remove the fill hoses with the large adjustable pliers. Make sure to label them so you don't mix them up. Then go back around to the front and carefully tilt the washer back. The drive motor is over here on the left side of the washer. We have to remove the cover, so we're going to use a 3/8 inch socket with the extension and the ratchet to take out the 3 bolts and hold it on. The lower one has the ground wire on it, so make sure you get that off. Once you have the cover off, we can remove the belt. Just pull down on it while turning the pulleys. Just be careful you don't pinch your fingers. The drive motor doesn't come with a new pulley, so we have to take the old one off. We're going to use a 9/16 inch socket with the ratchet to take it off. It's not on there that tight, so just carefully grab the pulley and loosen the nut. Pull the pulley off and set it aside. Then we can take the speed sensor off. It's just held down by a locking clip on each side. Just want to put the flathead screwdriver in here and push on it so it releases. And you want to hold it down so it doesn't snap back in, and then do the one on the other side. Once you have those released, we're just going to kind of pull down on it and rotate it off so it unclips from the motor. There's a couple clips on here that clip onto the motor frame right there. Then we can disconnect the wire harness for the motor power. There's a locking tab right here. We're just going to press on it and pull the plug off. Then we're going to use the 1/2 inch socket with an extension and the ratchet to take out the 2 bolts that hold the motor in. As you're taking the upper one out, make sure you hold the motor up so it doesn't fall. Here's the old drive motor next to the new one. If you already have one of these, great. If not, you can get it at AppliancePartsPros.com. To put the new drive motor in, we're just going to lift it up into place and use the 1/2 inch socket with the ratchet and the extension to put the bolts in to hold it in. Once you have the bolts tightened down, we can reconnect the wiring harness. Just have to line it up, snap it in, make sure you get a connection. Then we can put the speed sensor on. We're just going to clip the speed sensor onto the motor frame right here. There's a couple of arms on here that we're just going to get underneath there. And then push it up into the motor and snap in the other 2 mounts. Then we can put the pulley on. Just line it up with the shaft and push up on it. Then use the 9/16 inch socket and ratchet to tighten it down. Make sure you hold the pulley as you tighten it down. Next, we can put the belt back on. We're just going to put the belt around the larger pulley, then rotate the belt so it goes around the other pulley. Make sure you don't pinch your fingers and be sure the belt goes all the way up in the grooves. Put the cover back in place and use a 3/8" socket with an extension and a ratchet to put the 3 bolts in. Make sure the ground wire goes on the lower bolt. Then you can carefully put it back up on its feet and go around back and put the fill hoses on. Don't mix them up, and you want to start them by hand so you don't damage the threads, and then tighten them down with the large adjustable pliers so you don't have any leaks. Once you have the machine put back together, you can plug it in, turn the water on, and take it for a spin. Great job tackling the drive motor on your GE top-load washer. We'd love to hear how your repair went, so feel free to leave a comment below. If you find you need a replacement part, simply grab your model number and visit appliancepartspros.com to order what you need. Most orders will arrive within just a few days. Thanks for trusting us to guide you through your DIY repair. See you next time.